Wow. With dance, as with product launch, timing is everything. I'm delighted to see such a diverse audience. I'm Vincent Landon. I'll be moderating this first ever Zurich Innovation Championship Demo Day. To return to the audience, we have politicians, we have customers, employees, members of EXCO, senior leaders, members of the innovation community. Welcome to all of you. One thing unites us. We're here to celebrate innovation. I hope we can all agree that innovation is important. It's not something we should take for granted. In Reformation England, innovation was heresy. To call someone an innovator was a term of abuse. I can see some of the startups looking worried now. Please don't panic. Times have changed. You're very welcome here today. So what are we trying to achieve? Well, we hope you'll leave here with a better understanding of what innovation means at Zurich, why we favor collaboration, and why the Zurich Innovation Championship, in many ways, is just the tip of the iceberg. A couple of house rules. Please silence your mobile phones. And because time is at a premium, we'll be leaving questions to the apéro session, to the networking apéro, which will come straight after this session. You'll be able to eat, greet, and browbeat all at the same time. That's enough from me. Without further ado, I will hand over to Joel and Anthony, co-leads of the championship.
Good evening. I'm Anthony.
And my name is Joel, and together we run the Innovation Championship.
We are super excited. I was excited before I saw the dancers. Now I'm really excited. Super excited to have you here. So the Innovation Championship is about identifying, proving, adopting, and scaling the very best startups to create value for the Zurich Insurance Group. So we started this journey for the 4th edition of the Zurich Innovation Championship in January this year. We talked about having 5 challenges, the challenges where we could see the greatest value to our customers and to our business units around the group. And we were overwhelmed with the submissions we received, 3,500 submissions. Wow. So those, we looked at every single one of them, and we chose 400 in our business units in the countries around the group to deep dive. And of those 400, we choose 50 winners. The ones those business unit leaders, those country leaders, really saw the most value, the ones they wanted to fight to work with. And we took those 50 as our shortlist for the global final, global finalists. We worked with our business global leaders, we have many of them here this evening, to choose which were the right ones to work with, which have the most innovative technology, which have the founders we wanted to work with, which we saw had the best potential to scale across the group, which would have the biggest benefit from the accelerator. And if we talk about the right kind of startups, you're going to see a few zebras around here, right? And I guess everyone's heard of a unicorn startup. I don't know who's heard of a zebra startup. A few of you? Okay. So zebras, as we all know, are blue and white. They stand for making a profit, but also for doing the right thing by society. So we found our winning zebra startups, right? And we've taken those into our accelerator. We've worked with them over the last months. We've hypothesized and we've tested. We've prototyped and we've proven. We've listened and we've learned. And when startups are telling us that we're moving fast, we think we're doing something really right. And we are super proud to show you this evening the results of our accelerator.
Thank you, Anthony. And this actually reminds me of something. My friends keep on telling me, Joel, does insurance and innovation, can this go hand in hand? Startups, fast, agile startups, can they work with a big incumbent like Zurich? Well, guess what? It does. And we are here to prove that tonight. But in fact, it needs a special ingredient. We call it the secret sauce. And tonight you will witness what this secret sauce is all about, because I will reveal the 5 ingredients of our secret sauce. Number 1, and obviously Anthony already spoiled it, startups, but not just a normal breed of startups. We want zebras, right, that share our values, that also connect to our strategy. And many of them are here today, and you will meet them later on today. Number 2, our business units, our Zurich countries. Right? We match them at the very first day of the championship with the right startup. And that's quite key because our business units are very close to our customers, and they bring in the closest, the proximity to our markets. And that's key, and we are really proud that we did quite a good matching this year. The third ingredient, our leadership. Anthony mentioned it, right? Our leadership is involved from the very first day on in the selection, in the coaching, in the mentoring, but also later on the road to adoption, supporting them to reach scale together with Zurich. Number 4, we call them Make the Difference, which are most of the talented colleagues around the globe. We select them, and it's quite a process to make it through all these filters, but we select the best of the best. We invite them to join us here in Zurich or in Switzerland, because first we send them to the University of St. Gallen. They go through quite a rigorous boot camp, learning the innovation techniques. But the magic is to really then connect them with the right startup and the right BU so that they can really add value from the very first day on. Now, number 5, guess what? Our customers, the most important ingredients, right? Because everything we do starts and stops with the customer. So from the very first day on, in every initiative, we talk to customers. We try to understand, are we really solving a problem? Because if we don't solve a problem for a customer, the likelihood that they will use our new services, our products, might be rather limited. So that's the secret sauce. So you're about to experience this sauce and how it comes to life and how it actually accelerates our innovation strategy. So I invite you to the journey. Fasten your seatbelts. I guess you're already fastened them because of this great dancer session before. And yeah, have fun. Thank you very much for coming in.
Well, as you've just heard, there were 5 categories in this year's championship, displayed there. And let's start with commercial insurance. Businesses want to protect themselves in the best possible way. We need to anticipate their needs. Data is king, and that means quality data and how we use it. To say a few words of introduction is the CEO of Commercial Insurance. Sierra, the floor is yours.
So I'm thrilled to be, is there anywhere I can stand that I'm not being blinded? No. So I'm thrilled to be here with all of you today to announce the 4 Innovation Challenge winners for commercial insurance. But before I do that, I thought I would share some of the things that are really important to commercial insurance to make us successful. So for those that know commercial insurance well, I mean, the 2 things that I at least think are most important are our people and our data and tech capabilities. And I like to think that we have some of the best people, so we can tick that box. And we've been working relentlessly to build capabilities when it comes to data and tech. And this challenge, this championship, really helps to feed into that. So innovation is important for us because we want to be digital, we want to be seamless, we want to stop doing all those things that we don't need to do as people and be easier to and faster and more responsive. And we want to spend less time compiling data and more time using the data to answer questions. So ultimately, we want to simplify, we want to be more responsive, and we want to focus our people on delivering value. So for this year's Innovation Championship, we had 433 entries when it comes to commercial insurance. Christoph is not able to join us today, but sends his regards. And I were thrilled to see such a range of high caliber startups. You'll see that we selected 4 winners. That's not because we're indecisive, but because we really saw some great capabilities across all 4 to help us be better at what we do. What I like most about this program is we're solving real-world challenges. So Joel touched on this as well. But I think over the years, we've gotten better and better at being really focused on what are the challenges that we're trying to solve. This might sound obvious, but it's really hard to do this. I mean, when you see all the capabilities that are out there with various startups, it's easy to get distracted by all the cool stuff that companies can do. But it's really important that we stay focused on delivering, otherwise we don't deliver impact in the organization. In the accelerator round, we also have the opportunity to dig even deeper using our own data and even bringing some of our customers in to help shape the propositions. So with that, I would like to introduce the 4 winners of the championship. We have Core AI, who gives us a better understanding of subsidence risk. We have Citadel, who is helping us understand cyber threat intelligence and helping us quantify that, which is something that our customers have been asking for quite some time now. We have Spotter, and they're helping us to protect customers against underinsurance. And I think we have an additional opportunity with them to help us better understand the risks that we take on the property side. And we have Hence, and Hence is helping us remove some of the biases we have on the claims side and helping us optimize some of the claims outcomes. I also think we have the opportunity with them to use them to better manage some of the external relationships we have. So, congratulations to the 4 winners. I very much look forward to see how we continue to innovate together. And with that, I'd like to welcome to the stage Dirk and Garrett from Spotter.
Good evening, everyone. I'm delighted to be able to introduce Spotter. So the first question you probably ask is, what does Spotter do? So in simple terms, Spotter use AI on satellite imagery to produce property data enrichment. Now, in order to bring this to life, what we wanted to do is focus on a specific business problem. And we chose, as Sierra mentioned, underinsurance in the home market. So as you can see from the slides, this has been quite prominent and has been a focus point of the regulator and also covered in national media. So in order to combat inflation, what insurers do is they increase sums insured by a fixed percentage. Now, the unfortunate reality is not all of our customers land in the sweet spot, and we have customers that remain underinsured. We also have some customers that then become overinsured. So what we task Spotter with doing is to make it more personalized and ultimately protect our customers from underinsurance.
Yeah, thanks, Garrett. And in the Zurich Innovation Championship, we've been given our biggest challenge ever, and that's to inspect any property anywhere in the world with just an address and an activity. And we've done this in 3 regions, from Mexico to Ireland to the Netherlands. And basically what we've done, you can see it here in the video of our platform, we just get an address from Zurich. Based on that address, we're able to download pictures from that location, and it ranges from street-level images to aerial images to drone images. And from those images, our neural networks can detract data points. So you see about 30 different data points here, with by far the most important one being the square footage of a property. And this is also where the first challenge comes in. How many properties would you think this is? Most people would guess 2, because there's 2 cars, 2 front doors, 2 chimneys. However, only by connecting to a local source, which is called the Ordnance Survey, we were able to detect it's actually 4 properties. And that led to our first key insight during the Innovation Championship, that it's not enough to just do computer vision. We have to combine that with open data. And I'm proud to say that we've been able to do it. So we've reached 91% accuracy on properties, and we were able to detect accurate rebuild valuations. And we didn't just do this for retail, we also did this for commercial insurance. So here's an example from Mexico, where we've gotten a little bit of an incorrect latitude-longitude from Zurich. We were able to correct that with the right location by connecting to Mapbox and Google Places, just open sources. Both of those points were fed into our neural network, which automatically drew an outline of the property, and that was then fed into our platform, generating the green outline that downloaded the images, that extracted the data points. And we don't just do this for one moment in time, we can actually do this across different moments in time. So here you see a parking lot in 2013 that has been transformed into an office building, creating 17% additional footprint. Now the value that we generate with this is that we can help underwriters work faster, we can find anomalies in very big portfolios, but most importantly, we can protect customers from underinsurance and give everybody the home that they deserve. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Dirk and Gareth, for that fascinating insight into underinsured properties and all the data points that you collect. Another thing which gives businesses sleepless nights are cyber threats, and we desperately need the tools to help assess and monitor these better. I'm delighted to welcome on stage Sylvain and Julien, who are going to tell us a little bit, thanks to the work of Citalead, what can be done.
So for many companies, cyber is a complicated topic. They know that there is a risk and that they have actions to take, but most of the time, they actually struggle to identify the right solutions in which to invest. So at Zurich Cyber Resilience Solutions, empowered with Citalead technology, we actually help our clients to navigate through the complexity of cyber. The resources available to tackle cyber risks, they are often limited. And our clients, they struggle to identify the right partner they can fully trust. So we asked our clients, and they actually shared with us that they think that cyber advisory propositions from an insurer is actually much more trustworthy because they believe there is a common interest in having their cyber risk being reduced. And this is why Zurich Resilience Solutions partnered with Citalead to combine the cyber risk advisory expertise with the powerful technology of Citalead.
Thank you, Sylvain. So our mission as Citalead is to put actionable numbers on cyber risk, leveraging cyber threat intelligence. We use our AI to dynamically quantify both the likelihood of a cyber attack and the associated losses for any given company. The joint value proposition we've created will combine our technologies with the deep knowledge of Zurich risk engineers to propose to our customers, our common customers, one, to better know their cyber risk exposure, their cyber risk profile, and two, to make the best decision on how to reduce those cyber risks, thus becoming more resilient to cyber threats.
So with cyber risk quantification as a service, we want to become the trusted risk advisor for our clients. We bring simplicity and clarity to cyber topics. So during the initiative, we developed a one-pager. It's a compact view with the main metrics that are necessary for the SME to quickly identify their cyber risks and prioritize remediation and investments. And for the more complex cases and the large corporates, we build on granularity, we add level of details, and we provide a full dashboard where we help our clients to pilot their cyber strategy, to prioritize their long-term investments and justify the cyber projects. So the three key differentiators of our initiative: first, we bring clarity and simplicity by helping our clients to navigate through the complexity of cyber.
Then we combine technology and risk expertise to help customers understand their cyber risk and make the best decision to reduce it.
And we have an unbiased solutions for any clients where we support both SMEs and large corporates with their cyber risks. And after just 3 months of an innovation initiative, we are very proud to announce that as of today, we are launching the cyber quantification, and it's now officially part of the Zurich Resilience Solution portfolio. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you, Citalead, and particularly welcome that great news. Earthquakes and floods have hit the headlines recently. One issue which is underreported is subsidence. It can impact millions. Its effects are catastrophic. Again, we need the predictive tools to get a clearer picture. Fortunately, Rahul and Troy are on the case with Core AI.
When we talk about natural catastrophes, our mind goes to events like floods and earthquakes. But how many of you have thought about the growing threat of subsidence? Subsidence is a phenomenon of sinking land. While it has been around for quite some time, but in the recent years, because of changing climate, depleting groundwater, and increasing urbanization, the risk has accelerated, growing to more areas where it was not before and causing more and more damages. A fifth of the world's population is going to get impacted by it by 2040. In US alone, it causes $4 billion worth of economic damages every year. And the cost is only going to grow from here.
Look, insurers have baseline knowledge around subsidence, but we truly lack the granular, dynamic data we need to truly understand this insight. Luckily, Zurich recognizes this, and we've partnered with Core AI for the Zurich Innovation Championship. And with this, I'd like to go over two main insights we learned by this partnership. One, we were able to validate the data of Core AI that is accurate and that the subsidence risk can be graded using satellites. And secondly, we developed, along with Core AI, the industry's first risk grading methodology on subsidence.
So using radar satellites, we calculate millimeter level changes in Earth's surface every 6 days and use it to create time series footprint at a property and regional level. As you can see in the results, the building in the middle clearly is at high subsidence risk. It is sinking at the rate of 15 millimeters per year, which is quite alarming. In fact, this is a building which was insured by Zurich back in 2022, and unfortunately, it faced a subsidence-related claim. The issue here is it went unnoticed at the time of underwriting in 2019, and if we had the right data, the data which we have right now, we could have taken different decisions. What we have done with the initiative with Zurich right now is that we have proved that satellites can be used to detect these events before they become disasters, saving Zurich millions of dollars in financial damages.
Look, clearly these insights are relevant for our business, but as climate change accelerates, these insights go from relevant to extremely impactful, and we believe we are confident that these will lead to better decisions and better outcomes for Zurich and our customers. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Rahul and Troy. Knowing that my house is almost certainly going to sink into the subsoil has put a bit of a damper on the day, but I'm reassured at least that they'll give me plenty of advance warning. We heard about a claims and litigation process. Obviously, it's the last thing you want, but when you arrive in that situation, you would like to have the best possible lawyer who's going to give you the fairest settlement. Hence Technologies is able to take some of the uncertainties out of the equation, and I'm delighted to welcome Aaron and Kieran to tell us a little bit more.
As a global insurer, one of Zurich's largest expenditures is claims spend. And of that claims spend, a significant amount stems from legal costs. Now, hopefully you can all agree that lawyers are pivotal to the claims resolution process. And I'm definitely not just saying that because I'm a lawyer. The process of selecting lawyers is complex and multifaceted. And so we wanted to understand if there's a way in which we can optimize that process. And so in order to do that, we gained first-hand experience with claim handlers in Canada. And what they told us is that the current process lacked data, and as a result of that lack of data, they chose lawyers who they knew, rather than the lawyer that would be best placed to achieve the most effective outcome on that case. As you can see behind me, they had access to over 3,000 different lawyers. Put your hand up if you know 3,000 different people. Me neither. And so the findings showed that on average, the number of lawyers that they selected was significantly lower than the number behind me. But this is where Hence comes in.
At Hence, what we specialize in is bringing together disparate data to create solutions that are at the fingertips of the people that use them. In this case, what we did was we brought together the different silos that exist within Zurich of the data that exists, and then enriched it with Hence's public data that we've extracted from all over the web, including law firm profiles, rankings, and even court records as well. We then took all of that data together, cleaned it, resolved it, and made it usable in terms of AI-based suggestions for which lawyer is the right lawyer to use for a specific claim. Throughout this process, we didn't just do it with data and AI. We actually brought in claims handlers into the process at every step of that process. So we talked to them, we got them to do surveys, they experimented with the product itself, and they made sure that they were on board right throughout. And guess what? The product is working. It's live. Claims handlers are actually using it. We've done some tests with them, and the results look promising. In fact, the numbers already show an estimated 2 to 4% of savings of claims that go to litigation. This isn't just the savings on the litigation, on the legal fees, it's actually of the claim overall. And the model keeps getting better as we continue to iterate and get more data and get more feedback directly from the claims handlers. But it's not just the numbers that are on our side. The claims handlers themselves are giving us great feedback, and we continue to work with them. After success in Canada, we're now exploring looking at other countries to see our expansion, countries like Australia, the UK, Switzerland, Germany. It's been a great success, and we're excited to see what else we can do. Imagine a world where you had all the data at your fingertips to make the right decisions of who to use. That's what we're building together, Hence and Zurich. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Aaron and Kieran. That brings us to the end of the commercial insurance category, and the CEO of Zurich Global Ventures will now introduce us to the next two categories, digital enablement and distribution partnerships. Jack, the stage and the microphone is yours.
Hello. I want to tell you a little story why this is important. Several years ago, more than I care to tell you, I was running an insurance company in the Philippines. And I wanted to understand how distribution works. So I went around the country, met a lot of different distributors and agents, and tried to understand how they ran their business. I went into one particular agency, and I noticed that they had all these shoe boxes along the wall. And I thought, well, this person really loves their shoes, right? But little did I know, what they were actually doing is every time they sold a policy, they'd fill out an index card. Actually, they filled out 4 index cards, each one a different color. And then they would file those index cards in the boxes by date. One box was the date they bought the policy, one box was the birthday of the policyholder, one box was the birthday of the beneficiary. And then every day, they'd go in the boxes, and they'd pick all the index cards from that date and call those customers. Can you imagine the innovation you could add to that type of system? It's amazing to see how far we've come in terms of our distribution, but we can go so much further. We really need to help our distributors be meaningful, help them deliver to their customers, and help them respond to the way customers are changing. That also gets to why it's important for us to focus on embedded insurance and an ability to distribute digitally. Customers are buying more and more of their products digitally. We have to be there at the point of sale, and we need that capability. Recently, Zurich invested in a company called Cover out of Belgium, which does just that. And it signals the importance of this line of business for us. So I'm very pleased to announce the 3 different winners that we have for this category. I believe we have a slide we can put up. So Minalea, Omni US, and Truera. These are 3 companies that are looking to change the way we run our business, the way we run our distribution, and it's an important part of who we're going to be in the future. I'd like to welcome Gabriella and Stefan on stage to talk about Minalea and some of the work we're doing in Italy. Thank you.
I created Minalea because I was bothered to not understand the insurance product I was paying for. I mean, insurance is complex. Insurance is not transparent. For customers, insurance looks like that. It's like a black box. And it has two consequences. First is that for the customers, price is everything, because that's the only thing they can use to compare the contracts. Second is that insurance is seen as a cost and not as a service. And that's a pity, because it's a tremendous service that makes your whole life stable. Now look at the insurance journey. In insurance, everything starts with a conversation. A conversation from the agent with the customer to understand the profile, to explain the product. And what we noticed is that in this super crucial moment of insurance advisory, nothing was existing to help them. So we developed AirPitch. AirPitch analyzes thousands of products, insurance products, on covers and services. We give that to the agents, and they get their sales pitch in few clicks. They know what they have to say to this or this customer, and it helps them to make the difference with the competition.
And in Zurich, Italy, we saw great potential in Minalea for two very good reasons. First, agents are the gatekeepers of the insurance market in Italy. They represent 73% of non-life business. And on the other hand, clients still want to meet their agents when they really rely on agents when they are making their insurance decisions. So 7 people out of 10 still want to meet the person, their agent, face-to-face. So in Italy, we decided to test Minalea AirPitch with our agents, with real customers, and we involved 22 agencies for 3 months. They tested AirPitch and performed 300 analyses in front of real customers, and they were very satisfied with that, and they want to keep using it. Feedback were very positive indeed. We know that some insight that we received from them are in terms of the improvement in skills from their people speaking to final customers, because they could access the right information at the right moment about products in the market, about competitors, so they could deliver tailor-made advisory for the customer, for their specific needs and their specific personal situations, and have happier customers in the end. So we can't wait to roll out the solution to the whole network in Italy of 600 agencies. And I'm really excited to continue this journey together with Minalea and with our agents to help our customer perceive insurance no longer as just a cost, but as a value and a partner for their life. Thank you.
Thank you, Stefan and Gabby. And I have to confess, I don't know if I'm allowed to say this here, but if I was stranded on a desert island with only one thing to read, I probably wouldn't choose an insurance contract. Fortunately, some sense is now being made of the small print, and I'm very grateful to Stefan and Gabby for explaining that. There are plenty of other startups out there which are helping to make lives easier, all of our lives easier. Daniel and Tanya are going to tell us about Omnius and the automation of insurance claims processes.
Imagine this is you. This is your damaged vehicle. You just drove it into a wall. What do you expect from your insurance company in that moment? In insurance, we like to think of this as our moment of truth. And at Zurich, Switzerland, our claim adjusters deal with interactions like this over 1 million times every year. With increased complexity and shifting expectations, it's thus crucial that we think of innovative ways and solutions to maintain our customer centricity. And this is where our collaboration with Omnius comes into play.
Zurich's customers clearly expect a convenient, fast, and transparent claims journey. And through automation, we can help with a lot of things there. For example, achieving settlements in up to real time, or enable interaction points to provide instant status in a simple, understandable language. But even better, we can tailor services to meet the future needs of the market and the customers even more so. And last but not least, we give claims adjusters back some valuable time to spend them on meaningful and empathic interactions with the customers. So, artificial intelligence is a key to enable automation, and we at Omnias are applying our advanced technological capabilities with pre-trained AI models, as well as integrations into claims core systems, such as Guidewire, to enable that. And things we are doing there is, for example, interpreting key information from whatever is coming in through the claims communication channels, and interpret that and understand what's happening there. But also, we manage amendments and automatically create claims files out of that, or even prevent duplicate claims file to be created. And the masterpiece is conducting very holistic coverage checks or invoice checks to then comes to an instant settlement and payment of the claim. And last but not least, if the AI is not so sure about the result after all, and that can happen, we create an advice and a next best action for our colleagues, the human claims adjusters.
And there is a few reasons why we chose Omnias to run this pilot with us. First of all, they have a data-driven approach with access to the latest technology. Secondly, they are experts in claims and able to scale at pace. And finally, their culture really aligns to ours. They are passionate about applying technology to empower people and make claims an exciting place to work. Our common goal is to reduce repetitive manual tasks for our claim adjusters so that they can focus on value-add interactions. As the market becomes more complex, we believe that this investment will help us to be fit for the future in our moments of truth. Thank you.
Well, automation, as we've heard, promises precision and speed, but we need to get it right. We'll hear now from Lofred and Rodrigo how Truera can help drive more effective AI performance.
So AI holds a tremendous potential for the insurance industry. For instance, it can help make better underwriting decisions, automate most of the claims management process. But there's one big issue. AI is being underutilized in the industry. Data scientists want to use AI, but customers, regulators, and industry experts are worried about the risks associated with AI. For instance, the lack of transparency or the potential for unfair bias. And that's where Truera comes in. So Truera is a software platform that helps you test, debug, and evaluate machine learning models, leading to higher quality and trustworthiness. For instance, imagine that you are using a car insurance model. Imagine that you're worried that the car insurance model might be unfairly biased against women. While using Truera, you can perform a fairness test and find out if that's the case, if that model is indeed biased. You can also dive in and looking at what are the main drivers of that bias and resolve the issue. And it does so in a way that is really user-friendly and easy to integrate in the day-to-day workflow of data scientists. For instance, the access to dashboard like this one, where they can see all the tests that were performed on the model, the tests that the model passed, but also the ones that they failed. But more importantly, they can dive in and looking at what are the causes of these model biases or model failures, debug the model, get it back into production.
There are different levels of maturity in the organization, and we wanted to make sure that Truera would be of value for our diverse group of data scientists. We started with a broad exploration with data scientists at different levels of experience working on various types of AI models. We then stress test Truera with a real-life risk model. In order to do this, we partnered with a UK business unit to test their fire risk model that is actually in production. We also wanted to figure out if Truera could bring value in the cutting-edge space of large language models. Truera was able to significantly speed up the validation process because it could automatically find pockets of underperformance. In addition, it really makes comparing different model iterations simple and easy. We are also able to significantly improve the large language model validation software that Truera has because of our collaborative effort. The AI development cycle is a very complicated one, and things could go wrong at any moment. That is why we have to have a robust and comprehensive governance structure, and we call this the AI Assurance Framework. In order to unlock the potential of AI, we will be collaborating with Truera and embed it into our AI Assurance Framework. It will empower data scientists to be able to have better conversations with their stakeholders, which will turn into value creation. We are going on this really interesting journey. Where will we be? We will unlock the potential of AI. Thank you.
Well, thank you, Truera, for sharing that journey with us. As we set the stage up for the panel discussion, I just want to share a couple of statistics with you. In a recent survey, 84% of CEOs said that their company's growth depended on innovation. And yet only 6% of CEOs are satisfied with their company's overall innovation performance. So there's a huge gap between aspiration and reality. The purpose of this panel is to explore this phenomenon and what can be done to facilitate innovation. We've got 4 speakers who are bringing different perspectives from that of an incumbent, a startup, a venture capitalist, and a venture builder. The 4 speakers are Juan Baer, CEO of the Swiss Business Unit, Norbert Dohmann, CEO of Karuza Dataplace, a previous championship winner, Omid Merinfar, Managing Partner of Plug & Play's Europe, Middle East, and Africa operations. Plug & Play is the largest innovation platform in the world. And last but not least, Sabine van der Linden, CEO and Managing Partner of Alchemy Crew, and dubbed the Insurtech Queen by some of the 150 startups that she's helped found. I'd like them to come up on stage now. I see there are 4 stage chairs. I wouldn't mind having one as well, but if not, I will just squat. Do we have a 5th chair? If not, we will survive without it. Yeah. Please feel free to come up on stage. Yeah, no, please. We've heard these statistics, and the question, it begs the question: why is innovation so difficult? What can be done to make it easier? Sabine, I'd like to start with you, kick off with you. Do you have any answers?
Well, my answer will be potentially culture. Innovation is actually very hard to do. You can't just say, I'm going to be innovative and actually get it done by turning out your pocket. Today, I think there is a lot of initiatives taking place. There are a lot of startups trying to work with corporations, but often the corporation has not a clear strategy as to why they are going to collaborate with startups. So I would say, first, understand your culture. And second, make sure that you look the end in perspective and start building a roadmap to get there.
Thank you. Omid, do you have anything to?
No, of course. I mean, to add to your point, prior to my current role, I led on behalf of Plug & Play the development of a few innovation labs for major banking entities, insurance companies around the world: California, New York, Paris, Abu Dhabi. And one of the most consistent themes around the success or failure of innovation, in my opinion, is misaligned incentives. We, understandably, as major enterprises and leaders of industry around the world, our people, the core DNA of our company, are entrenched in their priority, their KPIs, the main objectives of what encompasses their primary duty. And within many organizations, the concept of innovation typically is something that is outside of their immediate scope, so is not within their immediate vicinity of their KPIs. But if that element of, I'm going to say something cheesy, moving an innovation committee into an innovation community in the organization, whereby leadership through to operational business units, business functions, can consolidate and align on certain incentives, risk, reward elements, heavier on the reward side for approaching spontaneity, a level of entrepreneurship within the organization, and the pursuit of innovation, we typically see an uptick. It spreads like a virus. A few key pillars initiate that forward-thinkingness, their peers see the success, and that trajectory continues.
Thank you. Norbert, how do you go about innovation in your organization?
I couldn't agree more, honestly. When I take a look in some innovation projects, people try to solve that in their daily business, and this does not work. Caruso is a good example. So the first-year suppliers in the automotive aftermarket have recognized that, and I said, we can't do that internally. We have to do that externally, and found that lab, Caruso, to solve that problem. That's one thing. And the other thing, in addition to my role at Caruso, I help some startups to scale. And one of my first questions is, they tell me, I use artificial intelligence, machine learning, and I said, fine. But what is the problem you solve? And how are you going to measure if the problem has been solved? And you cannot imagine how many of those cannot answer that simple question.
Thank you. Juan, how do you drive innovation as CEO? What's important to you?
So I like the idea of, what's the problem we need to solve? Because more often than not, we get approached by insurtechs and startups more broadly with a solution to a problem to be found, which I think is a problem in itself, right? So I'd like to think that innovation starts with having a clear strategy. Then obviously it comes down to culture, right? A culture that would actually enable people to think out of the box. And that can't certainly be done, as was said, during the day work. So what we've done in Switzerland, the Swiss BU, we've created a team that's dedicated to driving innovation in the first instance for the personal lines, for the personal customer space. So they have the time, they have dedication, and they obviously also have the freedom to engage with startups, including the ones that we've seen up here.
Thank you. And with the customer at the center, that's something that clearly...
Well, look, under the assumption that we're here to make people's lives better, which we are, right? Sometimes we tend to forget that that's the reason for being for insurance as an industry. If that's to be true, then obviously we have to put people at the center and enterprises as well. So we have to think in terms of what do they need? What do they prefer? How do they want to engage? Right? Because historically in this industry, it was pretty much the other way around. How do we want them to engage with us? Now, these times have shifted, right? So it's basically up to them to decide how they want to approach us and what their issues are. So if we understand their issues and if we are committed to making their lives easier, so we might as well really open up channels and innovate so they can interact with us in the way they want.
Sabine, as an Insurtech influencer looking from the outside in, what do you see when you see the Zurich Innovation Championship?
So that is a great question, because I do speak a lot to big insurance companies in Asia, in Europe, in the United States. And another point I want to make is understanding the changes happening between corporate startup collaborating together. There's a terminology called corporate venturing, which requires for organizations to understand how to invest, partner, but also how to integrate the startups within their operation. I think after analyzing over 1,000 corporate venturing firms, 29 of them insurance and maybe 5 doing okay, I would say the big problem is that the misalignment and the misunderstanding as to how that works. So when I look at the Zurich Innovation Championship, I see something super unique because it integrates its leadership team. We always say things start with the top, right, to actually create execution frameworks. Then there is a framework, there's a validation sprint, there are activities taking place which are really, really structured to enable the startups to achieve clear outcomes. So there is this joint dance where everybody is really clear around what needs to be done, therefore KPIs. And then it's all about the business case for change to drive differentiation and innovation. I think the Zurich Innovation Championship is very unique. As I said, I talked to a lot of companies, and no one is doing the same so far.
And we've talked a little bit about what goes right, but there's also some innovation programs presumably get it wrong. Omid, you must have had some experience with this.
Yeah, I mean, so historically, and that's become less and less so, but years ago when innovation was the hype between fintech and insurtech, it's an interesting evolution. A lot of times we'd see innovation, I'm sure you've seen this, historically was under a marketing department, so no operational related KPIs, no hard outcomes tied to them. And while marketing is a great element to drive and educate that cultural transformation, as it pertains to creating those tangible KPIs, sometimes can lead to prolonged misalignments with no tangible outcomes. That's one major element. Another element is siloing out the operations, especially with a global entity like Zurich Insurance. It's really tough in the sense that as an organization with many geographies, cultures, addressable issues, whatever they may be, the fact that Zurich is able to consolidate their activities at a global scale where there's a unified approach from leadership, business units, translating into kind of a scalability, that's something that you don't see very often. So that's just a quick 2 cents.
Juan, when it comes down to the sort of execution, how does this actually work in reality in terms of the teams coming together?
So I think the number one step to me is really making sure that external people, startups, and insurtechs trying to work with us understand the strategy that we have, right? And giving them the insights is the first step, and then obviously would go and frame the activity, make sure that we have a clear process to frame and also a clear list of actions that need to happen to get us to tangible results, right? And tangible results need to be clearly defined at the beginning. Again, with a lot of freedom to get there, but we need to understand the outcome that we're trying to achieve, and then also measure the outcome with some clear KPIs, as was said. So that's kind of the the process that we have as we work with Omnius in the case of Switzerland, and also Precure in 2022, just to make sure that we don't lose sight over the original problem we are seeking to solve.
We talked a little bit, Omid talked a little bit about the sort of cross-industry aspects. Norbert, I don't know if that's something that you wanted to pick up on, this question of, it's not just fintechs, insurtechs, and so on. It's much, much wider than that.
Absolutely. So the challenges are comparable. So Caruso is serving a lot of industries, fleets, workshops, insurances. And what I can see is that the challenges are always the same. Innovation is a journey from my point of view. And what we did with Zurich, what our team liked the most was it was a culture to do a journey together. So you have to fail fast, you have to learn your lessons, you have to react quickly. And this is part of the culture, what we like the most.
Ultimately, the proof of the pudding is in the eating. Norbert, you're a previous championship winner. What are the benefits for a startup?
The number one was to gain deep industry knowledge by being as close as possible to your target customer. That's absolutely number one. Yeah. So prevent yourself from trying to get an innovation out of your own lab. This will not work. You have to be as close as possible to your customer.
Sabine, I can see you're nodding there. Did you have something to...
Yeah, I mean, the ability to jointly build something together, and I think it's very important. It's not Zurich, just Innovation Championship, right, Norbert? It's also the startup. And I think this year, when I've seen the startup, and we didn't call the initiative, the startup name somewhere, actually a bit uncomfortable because it's actually a joint relationship. The startup has a lot to bring, speed, the ability to solve problems very fast, use very limited resources. The corporate is providing resource, time, but also customers on which we can validate those problems. And that joint symphony, let's say, comes together to achieve the outcome. And again, it has to be measurable. So when we look at the customer, we need to actually do tests, which allows us to really validate the outcome. When we look at the product, we need to select the features which are relevant for that customer. And then we need that business case to actually make sure it's not just for one country, it's multiple countries. It's not just for a short period of time. It's for multiple years.
And just briefly, because we haven't got a lot of time, I mean, we've talked a lot about innovation, but is it actually better to be a sort of first mover or a fast follower? Omid, any thoughts on that? Or a bit of both, depending on the industry?
That's an awesome question. I mean, To your point, I think a healthy diversification of an 80-20 healthy investment portfolio kind of situation, where 80% is to see what is already working in the market and try to take advantage by not being a first mover, but rather someone that learns from the experiences of maybe someone who's a first mover and take advantage of kind of accomplishing that in half the time, half the cost, and more expediently. And then with a 10 to 20% allocation investment to disruptive solutions, H3, to be a first, let's say, first mover in the space. And with that regard, you are doing a healthy diversification towards being a first mover while also being a leader in practical solutions.
And do you have any thoughts, being at the cold face, so to speak?
I'm actually not a big fan of the concept of the idea of first mover or fast follower. I think technology is available to all of us, right? And it will make a difference certainly in the beginning, but at some time people will be able to catch up and copy and steal with pride. And so therefore, I think, I'd like to think that it's, to me, and that's the way we're running Switzerland, it's really down to strategic discipline. So we know what we want, right? And other people will make different strategic choices, which is fine. So I've never been a big supporter of ecosystems, for instance. Now, others in the marketplace have been really building ecosystems. So, I'd like to think of technology as something that helps me really execute on the strategy for the organization and build things faster and move on in the context of the things that we want to accomplish for our customers, for our distribution channels, and for business partners more broadly.
In our dying minutes, collaboration or competition, which camp do you fall in, Norbert?
It's collaboration. For collaboration, absolutely, because it needs different partners to bring a solution to reality. Yeah, first of all, the collaboration between a startup and a corporate, but it could be a cooperation between startups as well, yeah, to make an end-to-end journey possible.
Okay, is that a view shared by the panel, or do we have unanimity there, or do we have dissenting voices?
Well, we work with startups, so it has to be corporate startup collaboration. But I think in insurance, it has to be around the risk appetite, right? You have to look at your purpose, your strategy, how you want to build brand in the marketplace, right? Are you going to build zebras? You have to look at how you are building competitive advantage. One, how we differentiate against our competition. All this comes together, so that's why I would say it's not for me, are we a fast follower or a market taker? It's finding the right balance between the two.
Okay, and very rapidly, where do you see the biggest innovation opportunities? Omid, big question, 10 seconds.
Oh, wow. Any industry?
Yeah.
All right. For me, I'm a big, let's say, digital asset guy. So for me, I think digital assets and the future of Web3 is something that everyone should start to look at deeply.
Okay, Sabine, any thoughts?
Well, I've been doing a keynote this morning on generative AI. I said, okay, now reinvent your business model, predictive.
Juan, do you...
Well, to me, I think it's anything that will help us be better at distribution.
Okay, and Norbert?
Anything which helps you to work more customer-centric.
Great. Thank you very much indeed to our panelists. It was quick, but yeah, thank you.
Thank you. It was so lovely to speak to you. Thank you. Lovely to meet you.
Before the panel, we heard from 3 of our championship categories. We will now return to the customer experience section. Customers, as you've heard, are at the center of everything we do, including innovation. Giving your customer options that genuinely help them is not a nice to have, it's essential. And study after study suggests that customers want targeted and personalized interactions. Who better to talk customer than our Chief Customer Officer? Connie, I'd like to hear from you.
Hi, everyone. It's been truly exciting to be listening to all the presentations tonight. And one thing that's been really positive as well is how brilliant they are at pitching. Should we not give them a round of applause? Another thing that's been really pleasing me all night is that we didn't have to get to the customer centricity category before we started hearing about how important customers are. So thank you for that to all the previous pitchers. But anyway, we're getting to my favorite category, customer experience. So what does customer mean to Zurich? Well, our ambition is actually to loyalize our customers so they think of us as their preferred insurers going forward. But actually, you cannot loyalize customers. You have to earn their loyalty. You can't just take it. So how do we earn our customers' loyalty? We do it by starting always with understanding their needs and how we can best serve them. What are the value propositions that will serve their needs? How can we personalize these value propositions? And how can we serve them in a seamless way? But not only that, we also need to transform the way we interact with them. So we have a tendency to go into transaction mode. But actually, what we want to do going forward is build a meaningful relationship with our customers. And to do that, we need to make every interaction count. Every time we touch them, a moment of truth was mentioned before, we need to make that moment matter. We need them to make them feel special, and we're there for them, not for us to just sell them something. And we are actually getting much, much better at that. And Switzerland, where Juan is, they have really progressed this agenda strongly. But we need to keep on pushing it, because it's easier said than done that we just need to deliver these things that I just mentioned. It's actually harder to actually do it at every interaction. So today we have 3 finalists in this category. And this category was very strong because we actually had 875 submissions. That's a lot. And for these 3 to actually have beaten them all, congratulations with that, means that the propositions they're presenting to you today, that they are very strong. Not only do they benefit our customers, but they also help improve our business. So with that, I'd like to introduce the 3 companies. We have Fitsify, and then we have EPQ Max, and Miss Moneypenny. I love that name. It's so cool. So with no further ado, I would like to invite to the stage, we have Nacho and Justin from Fitsify. Welcome.
Thank you, Connie, and hello, everyone. Currently, there are over 2 billion people suffering musculoskeletal pain, but unfortunately, the current physiotherapy services are outdated and expensive, making them inaccessible to many around the world. At Fitsify, we've developed the first physiotherapy service powered entirely by artificial intelligence. Our system allows us to monitor your movements in real time to make sure that you perform the exercises correctly. On top of that, it enables us to provide personalized physiotherapy solutions tailored precisely to individual needs, all while significantly reducing the cost and making our services available 24/7 from anywhere in the world. The combination of these innovations allows us to provide value across the entire customer journey. First, prevention helps you improve your ergonomics and strengthens key muscles and teaches you how to stretch properly. Second, intervention. Whenever you have any issue whatsoever or any discomfort, we help you tackle it immediately with a personalized program. That helps you promote rapid healing and get back to health fast. And finally, recovery. If you suffer an injury, we can help you recover up to 50% faster, which reduces the associated cost by up to 25%. And moreover, the adherence to our programs is 3 times greater compared to conventional treatments.
So for the accelerator to test an embedded solution, we worked with Zurich, Mexico, where we recognized that physiotherapy-related losses have the greatest financial impact on the major medical expense book of business, where 24% of losses are related to physiotherapy, and they're 19% more expensive than non-PT related claims. Our projections indicate up to 16% savings in back injury-related claims alone. To understand the user experience, we launched an internal employee pilot in Zurich, Mexico to our 1,200 local employees. This is currently live, it's working, our employees love it, and it was incredibly easy to deploy. Our employees are the top of our chart on the most what we love about Zurich. I can say that about the Make the Difference people here today. But what's really special is the impact we're having on the local employees' lives. 70% of employees report feeling better after using Visify, and more importantly, nobody is feeling worse. So to further understand the user experience, we conducted employee focus groups and conducted external agent testing with our local brokers and partners. Brokers see this as a new differentiated product that are welcome to help them sell more policies, and for Zurich or employees, what we see is an added benefit to an employee benefit program. So overall, Visify is working. It's live on the App Store. You can download it today. And just this week, they announced their English version, which is super exciting for everybody here. But we envision a future where everyone has simple, affordable access to physiotherapy, and you can with Visify. Thank you.
Thank you, Visify. And if you told me when I started working in insurance that I would need to have an understanding of epigenetics, I would have dismissed it out of hand. Well, I'm not laughing now because the era of personalized health insights is upon us. And as we're going to hear in the next presentation from Moritz and Christoph of EpiQmax, that era has truly arrived. Thank you.
Good evening, everyone. With this simple solution from EpiQmax, Zurich will personalize life insurance in the future. We as an insurance company, we know life changes. Life is never a straight line where everything goes well. Individual risks along the life cycle of our customers show there are prime times for certain diseases and illnesses in their lives. And yet, we offer products that are not flexible over time. We offer solutions for the worst case scenario. And we're there for our customers, and we pay out when it counts, of course we are, but we can do more. We can partner up with them, we can help mitigate and tackle these individual risks, and we can provide personalized products that can prevent worst-case scenarios.
And for this, we use epigenetics. Epigenetics describes the ability of our body to react dynamically to environmental influences. At EpiQmax, we capture the molecular profile of a person by using a simple inner cheek swab sample that we all know from COVID. With our analysis, we are then able to read out the effects of environmental influences like sports, nutrition, and even well-being, and we translate them into a fast and reliable health report that overall motivates people to change their life, to live a healthier life, and to adjust lifestyle choices. So let me take you on a customer journey from a typical Zurich member. There's a customer with a pre-existing condition and he applies for a protection product. Within the Zurich digital tools, he can then choose, let's call it EpiCheck for the moment, and adds this to his customer card for €3 a month that is added to his premium. He will then receive an annual test kit, 3 to 5 years, and will actually use this test kit and receives personalized recommendations on how to improve his health. He will then improve his health status, and these effects are measurable, and we can use them to re-evaluate loadings or exclusions that were given to him when the policy was written.
And this continuous analysis of health and well-being, personalized advices and recommendations, key insights into health and well-being, and the customer's chance to take control are opening up a whole book of use cases. The questions we ask ourselves in the accelerator were, are people willing to do this? And are people willing to pay for this service? And are people willing to take action? And the answers were yes, yes, and yes.
A clear yes on the willingness to perform such a test in the insurance context. A representative survey with more than 2,000 participants prove the desirability. And in parallel, a real-world evidence testing showed a call-to-action conversion rate of 8%, which is twice as much as the industry benchmark. A second yes from participants in the Zurich world using our test kit and proving its easiness, and then Zurich sales channels showing that this is a great awareness tool.
And a third yes from our core target group of people with 35 to 55 years of age, which can be a first addressable market. So yes to this solution, yes to EpiProtect, that can change the customer experience from a purely transactional to a truly transformational. Thank you very much.
Thank you, EpiQMax. Across the globe, consumers are voting with their wallets, and those wallets are increasingly digital. Like Connie, I was shaken and stirred when I first heard about Miss Moneypenny. Anna and Bimona, the stage is yours.
Thank you so much. So, let me paint you a picture. Imagine having a digital insurance card that gives you what you want from the portal without having to log in every time. And then, when something relevant pops up, like a birthday greeting or a warning, that gets pushed straight to you, personalized and timely. This is exactly what we do at Miss Moneypenny Technologies. We offer digital insurance cards that can be easily stored in Apple Wallet or Google Wallet without an additional app download. So they can become a very intuitive, low-threshold, customer-centric gateway to everything that Zurich offers. And what's special about our solution is that I'm not talking about static placeholders in the digital wallet. We're transforming them into a dynamic touch point. So they offer more than just transparency and access. It's communication, getting people in the loop and allowing them to reach out anytime, anywhere. So let's look into a situation where those capabilities, where they really matter. Boom.
So, imagine you've just had a car accident. Do you know exactly what to do in order to be able to make a claim? Do you have easy access to your motor insurance policy documents? This is exactly the scenario that we've been looking at with Miss Moneypenny in Zurich, Germany. With the mobile wallet card, Zurich has the ability to contact both the customer and the other party and provide them with all relevant claim information, as well as guide them through our digital claims processes. This results in lower inbound inquiry calls and also faster claims handling. Additionally, we're able to keep the customer and the other party informed and updated via dynamic content, which is sent to them via push notifications.
Okay, so that's great value, right? But it becomes really interesting once we scale it, and that's what we do. So our software suite, Wallet Studio, actually offers Zurich a number of fully integrated, use case specific, customizable solutions. We call them mini applications because they foster individualized service and engagement, right? So, and the brilliance of Wallet Studio is that it allows Zurich, not just us, allows Zurich to design, distribute, and manage these micro applications, including the engagement, in a very speedy and scalable way.
So, internal desirability and scalability has the potential to be really high. In fact, we've already got 15 countries across the organisation expressing an interest to partner with Miss Moneypenny Technologies. Pretty good.
That's pretty good.
Thank you, thank you. In addition to this, we've already got 3 pilots underway. This partnership between Miss Moneypenny Technologies and Zurich represents an exciting opportunity for us to harness a fresh communication channel which complements our existing customer communication solutions. It empowers us to dynamically engage with our customers, enhancing the value we bring to our insurance relationships. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
from customer experience to sustainability. When we choose our winning startups, it's important that they align with our values. And sustainability is really at the heart of what we do. It's our business. I'd like to welcome Alison Martin, CEO of EMEA.
Great. Thank you very much. I think doing sustainability means I am the blue stripes, or we, Team Startup Sustainability, we're the blue stripes of the zebra, perhaps. Maybe. Someone can tell me afterwards. Sustainability, why is it so important to us? Well, I can answer that in lots of different ways, most of which don't take less than 3 minutes. So therefore, I'm just going to say it's the right thing to do. We're an insurance company. We take a long-term perspective. That means you think about all the types of risks that could impact the business, most importantly, our customers. And those include things that will be related to the environment and to social types of risks. Societal expectations change all the time. How are we helping our customers to stay on top of this? How are we helping ourselves? Now, there's a number of areas that we focus on, and a couple of those are probably the very obvious ones you'd associate. So how are we helping our customers to build resilience to the physical risk of climate? And you've already seen some great examples. Another is really how do we help them transform and transition to a low carbon economy? And that creates lots of exciting opportunities. And you may think that the startups I'm about to introduce might be related to those things. But you never know. Other areas that we focus on are actually things which are much more in the social space. So how do we support long-term social protection? We know governments don't have enough money. We know people aren't saving enough money for their retirement. So there's a big piece around social protection. There's also a huge piece around well-being, whether that's physical, whether that's mental. We know that there are huge challenges in the world related to well-being, and it's critical that we address that together. And I'm actually really pleased to say that both of our startups in the sustainability category are in the S space. That was kind of surprising to us, to be fair, and we had the most entries, and there were tons of brilliant ones across lots of different areas. But both of the ones we picked were in the S space, and I think you're going to see the names of them momentarily. There we go. So we have two fabulous startups going to be pitching for you now. We have Wiser, who are going to be talking about mental well-being, and we're going to have Agave biosensors, I should say, sorry. And I am not going to say about what they do, very cool. But what I will do is I'm going to introduce and hand over to Ethan and to Reese to take the stage. Thank you.
Thank you, Alison. There are 370 million workplace injuries and illnesses each year, the cost of which is an eye-watering $3 trillion US. That's almost 4% of the world's GDP. At Zurich alone, over the years, we have paid out billions in disability, injury, and illness claims. As the Chief Claims Officer for the Life business, I am very proud today to introduce you to Agave Biosensors and our partnership with them. Together, we have developed an innovative workforce safety innovation that delivers on sustainability, affordability, versatility, and convenience.
Using small, wear-and-forget biosensors made from a unique, eco-friendly biomaterial, in collaboration with Zurich, we're transforming health and wellness one industry at a time. Starting with blue-collar workers in high-risk industries like construction, Agave and Zurich are building a future where personalized, data-driven decisions can be made to improve the health and safety of our communities. With input from over 100 customers and experts across the US, Europe, and Australia, we've developed a customized solution that truly addresses the needs of Zurich and its industrial customers. In fact, during the Innovation Championship, we surveyed over 100 of the largest construction companies in the US, with 94% indicating that our technology would have a very high impact on their operations. So today, we're proud to introduce our first generation wearable device, a tiny wearable sensor that sticks on the body and measures vital signs and physiological data, providing personalized metrics like heart rate, stress, body temperature, and motion analysis for things like fall detection. With this information, we can reduce worker injuries, we can improve worker health and productivity, lower absenteeism, and ultimately reduce claims.
As Ethan has said, through our data and testing, we know there is strong demand across industries such as construction, manufacturing, logistics, and even elderly care. Our next steps is to work with Zurich Resilient Solutions to hopefully pilot the sensor with construction customers in North America. We're also working with our LiveWell colleagues, Zurich's own health and wellness app, to integrate the sensor so that users can continue to continuously monitor their own health and well-being.
This is just the start, but we're excited to help Zurich commit to its sustainability from both a people and planet perspective. Thank you.
From wearable sensors to AI chatbots to help millions of people with mental health issues, I'm delighted to welcome Weiser on stage and our two speakers, Lisa and Sarah.
So Zurich Resilient Solutions, a global leader in the risk management services, has partnered with WISA, a leader in the mental health space, who has developed a solution that's been rolled out to more than 6 million people worldwide in an attempt to solve for the global mental health crisis. So why are we doing this? The idea was actually inspired by one of our customers who came to us for our help in helping their employees in regards to their mental health struggles. But our customers are not alone. 4 in 10 employees suffer from moderate to severe depression and anxiety. That means 4 in 10 of all of you here today. And 30% do not seek help.
I'm too embarrassed, I'm too busy, or I'm fine, even though I'm clearly not. These are the things that stop people coming forwards for help. And this has become an increasing business risk. We see high absenteeism, low productivity, and high staff turnover, but most tragically, an increase in suicide rates. So the WISA and ZRS partnership is not just a collaboration, it's a lifeline.
So what makes our offering unique is our 3-part approach that really focuses on proactive prevention. So we start by measuring the employee's mental health, and then we provide the customer with a baseline analysis. From there, we leverage our consulting team to really provide that risk management strategy and provide training. And then third, we roll out the 24/7 proactive prevention via the WISA AI technology.
So WISA provides clinically safe, AI-guided therapy. It's completely anonymous and uses natural language understanding. This creates a safe psychological space for the user, encouraging them to open up 3 times faster than they do to a human therapist. What this means is our clinical outcomes are really significant. 30 to 40% reduction in symptoms of depression and anxiety from AI alone. But the most important thing is that WISA breaks the barriers that people face in coming forwards for help and provides an alternative pathway to crisis support.
So we validated the need through both safety and HR leaders in small and large organizations. And what we found is that 86% of them found that this would have a huge impact on their organization. And an overwhelmingly 94% see the value in proactive prevention.
Our joint solution empowers employers to identify, measure, and ultimately mitigate the risk of poor employee mental health. But I'm very excited to say that this is not just a demo. This is our official launch of WISA Resilience for Zurich today. So please take a photo, get access for yourselves for a whole year, and start your personal 8-week challenge today. This is not just a risk management strategy, it's our commitment to employee well-being. Thank you.
And with all those cameras coming out, I feel like a celebrity here on stage who's just been spotted. It was great. That really made my day. That brings us to the end of the startup presentations. I'm delighted to welcome the overall program sponsors on stage, Paolo and Ericsson, who are going to put things in a bit of context and give us some perspectives.
Should I start first? All right. Please. So I love this day. This is Zurich Innovation Championship demo day. This is the best time of the year. I love this event. I love this program, this initiative. It is a movement now. And it is not the first one. This is not our first time. This is our fourth time. And then it might feel like the first time because we have been doing this iteration every time. When we do it again, it's different because we learn from the past. At the beginning, you have heard that we already have, this time around, we have 3,500 applicants. Cumulatively, by now, we have more than 8,000 applicants. This is an amazing program. So this, as I think from Omid earlier said that, this program is very special because it leverages our global scale. And Sabine mentioned, I cannot see you, so bright. Good to see you again. Sabine, so Sabine, you mentioned you have your InsurTech Queen. You have seen them all. You know how many programs are out there. This program is truly unique. I would say, not that I think, I know this is the best InsurTech innovation acceleration program in the industry. Oh, yes, thank you, but don't thank me. Why it is so good? Because there are so many people putting so much effort in it. Day in, day out, I know even just till last night, till this morning, people are putting work till 6 o'clock, did not sleep till 6 o'clock in the morning, still working on this. And it is special, and it's involving every part of the organization. We have the Make the Difference team here to make the difference, and we have most of our ExCo members putting not just the name, is putting the time and effort, talking to the startup, coaching the startup. This is truly, truly special program. One more round of applause. Thank you. It's for everyone. So this is the fourth time. I just, after all the demo that I've seen, I have 3 takeaways. I'll be quick. One is at the beginning, I think the earlier rounds, we have some 1BU will be supporting, sponsoring one startup. Now you can see many of the time is sponsored by 1BU quickly through the accelerator program as multiple BUs are using it. I think you just heard one example, 15 BU is already lined up. This is extremely important for the startup and for ourselves. For the startup, we are here seriously helping them to grow, accelerate, so they can be the best they can be. And for us, it's even more important. Reuse, re-leverage everything that we have to maximize value is absolutely to our core. So this is great. I think also, I think Omid also mentioned from Plug and Play, so that if your first one is great, but the second one, you can do the same with half the time and half the money. So this is fantastic if we do it 15 times in a row. So, and second, I heard that 11 of the 12 startup the demo day, they mentioned the word AI. Yes, I understand. We need to focus on the pain point. Where is the pain point? What is the solution? What are we trying to really do? But AI now is in the forefront. Because of the technology advancement, it is truly allows so much more possibility. You mentioned you are betting on Gen AI, me too. I think it is truly giving us a lot more options and can accelerate. It is what I say is 10x than before. It is assisting us to do a lot of things in a 10x version because of AI advancement. Even though 11 of the 12 mentioned about they use AI, I think the last one just did not mention it, is still using AI. So I think this is fantastic. This is what I call this is a dawn of a hyper innovation. So this is exciting. A lot of things might not be possible before, now it is. Third, I counted 7 out of 12 of the startup is actually not just focusing on our insurance value chain. So of course it's important. Jack mentioned we need to make things a lot more efficient. We can automate a lot of things. Yes, it is critical so that we can give our customer much better customer experience. This has become a true digital insurer. But now we have gone beyond that. This round, we can see 7 of the 12 startups. They are focusing on value-added services, preventative measure, so that we can help our customer to live better, to be stronger, to prevent risk from happening. This is truly a new paradigm. This insurance is not just about risk transfer. It is important, but it is helping our customer become safer, and then help our business customer become their business stronger, better risk managed. So this is really, really exciting how we turn this program into a far beyond. We are redefining what is an insurtech now. So I think there are other reasons why this is a perfect time for us to do this, and I will pass it on to Paulo.
Thank you, Ericsson.
Yeah. Paulo.
I think there is... Thank you. Ericsson mentioned conversational AI is giving us a 10x advantage, but there is something which is growing at 10x at the same time, which is risk. Risk is changing. We see it every day. There are new risks. The ones that are already present, they're increasing in frequency, in severity. They're biting our neck. And our neck as an insurance company, for sure, and we see it, but also our neck as individuals. And we believe that society and individuals and governments cannot be left alone. And we have a big role to play as an insurance company. We have alignment of interest. We are working on we're on the same boat. We're trying to reduce risks. We're trying to prevent risks, as Ericsson mentioned. And we try to understand risk better. And we are helping customers to do so. And while doing that, I think we can put at stake and at service 150 years of history of knowing risk and dealing with risk. But as the risk is evolving ever, we need to stay up to date. And that's the very reason why we have the Innovation Championship. That's the very reason why we open up to the world, because the world is becoming a world of specialization. And we are aware of that. And we develop capabilities internally, but we also know that there is a lot of things going on in the world that we should capture. We have an opportunity to capture. And so we started Innovation Championship a few years ago, and we go on this program now for the 4th time, and with great success. We have more than 20 of those companies working with us all across the world with great success, and we help them scale, as Ericsson also said, and we will keep doing that. We will launch a new edition of the new Zurich Innovation Championship soon, so stay tuned. And I want to thank you again, all of you, to be here today. And there is an apéro waiting for you upstairs. So I'll leave you to that. And thanks again, and see you soon.
Thank you very much. Thank you. I said wow at the beginning. I'm afraid I'm going to say it again. Wow, and we're going to end with a bang. We've covered a lot of ground. I hope we've made clear the collaborative nature of innovation at Zurich and why innovation is an integral part of our culture. I'd like to thank all our speakers and, of course, the technical crew who've made slides appear seamlessly and microphones work miraculously. I can tell you that during some of the trials, this was not always the case. I'm sure you have plenty of questions. The good news is that conversations and questions, and most importantly, the edible part of the evening, continues upstairs. Please head that way now. Thank you all very much indeed. You've been a great audience. Thank you.